If you really don't trust me, come with a real. You here been a front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome to the Woodward Heavyweight live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. I am Spencer Raxter, Jerry, Nick, Chris, all here joining me. Eazy stuck in traffic. He will be here very shortly. We got a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, the Detroit Lions had their draft just wrap up the other day, so we're going to break down that a little bit more in a little bit more detail. Brad Holmes was on the flagship today talking about some of those picks, so we got some things that we're going to talk about that he talked about. We have a lot to do with the Pistons. Obviously, Game 5 in New York tonight. Win or go home for the Detroit Pistons. We got our guy Ku Cahill of Locked On Pistons joining the show. So excited to get his breakdown on what's going to be happening. Does Kate Cunningham need to do more? All of that and more. And, of course, Steve Yzerman with kind of his exit interview today for the Detroit Red Wings. We got a couple different clips from that one and some things that he said. First, I just want to play this one first. The one I sent of from Ryan Hanna of him with Todd McClellan. Like, I understand, Steve Yzerman likes to dabble in the jars and the loom and all of that good stuff. But was dude just totally blown during this interview? Like, I mean, it was some of the funniest shit I've heard. Here's Steve Yzerman responding to one of the beat reporter's questions.
And Steve, from those exit interviews that you discussed, and Todd mentioned about that optimism the players talked about under him and some of the changes, did you get a sense of any of those messages from the players when talking to them before they left for the summer?
I'm going to be honest with you, I was daydreaming. I didn't hear a word Todd just said, so could you repeat your question?
Yzerman saying he was daydreaming. He didn't hear a word that Todd McClellan said, and I mean, he's just trolling us at this point. Obviously, there were a lot of very good bits from this interview, a lot of different things that Steve Yzerman talked about, and addressing the free agent situation, addressing the trade situation, and we're going to get into all of that. But Eazy.
Yes.
Before we got that set up for later. We're going to talk, obviously, we're going to talk Lions first. We're going to get into the Pistons. And
Lions, baby.
We'll talk about Steve Yzerman there at the end of the show, but the Lions put out a video, right? The thing going around all social media right now is 100 humans versus a gorilla. Who would win in a fight? And, we had our debates on it. Like, how many humans is it? What type of humans are there?
100 humans, you got to go for the nuts.
Do you send waves of crackheads first?
Waves.
Well, how do you combat this gorilla? The Detroit Lions asked their players the same thing, and there were mixed reviews. Our guy Giovanni Manu said, "Put me on the front line. I got this." Love to hear that out of the young man. Broderick Martin answered this question as well. Look at this picture of Broderick Martin. That's Broderick Martin. Looks like he's in pretty damn good shape.
Well, yeah, I mean, he slimmed down last year, too. It's just the injuries and the performance. Because once he finally got healthy, he couldn't really do much when he got on the field. He was inactive for many of the games. When he got drafted, you and I sat here. We're not professional scouts.
No.
I think we're pretty damn good at our jobs. We're not professional scouts. We didn't have the All-22 for the college tape. That guy's high as pads.
Yes.
It's like basic football shit. He never corrected that stuff. He's been in shape. It's just actual performance on the field. Are you buying into Broderick Martin? Is that what I'm hearing right now?
No, I'm not buying into Broderick.
Are you trying to sell me on Broderick Martin?
The internet is saying Broderick Martin's coming back, Nick. How do you feel?
You kiss him in an elevator.
Broderick Martin. Nobody can sell me that Broderick Martin is back. Please don't. The internet, and it might be the Brad bots specifically that are still holding out.
I just wanted to get you to crash out.
Yeah, I'm not crashing out today. It's been a good day. It's a long day. Hey, what a packed Detroit day.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes, Steve Yzerman, Pistons in an elimination game. And we got the Tigers bouncing back at some point today, obviously. I don't know if we're going to get to it, but yeah, big day in Detroit sports. Glad you guys are all here with us today.
We might as well get to that.
Yeah, what happened to the Tigers in their last game?
All right, you want to hear me crash out? Trey Sweeney happened last night.
Did.
Trey Sweeney happened. 2 errors late in the game ended up allowing the Astros to score 4 runs. It was a missed throw on a It took a bad hop on him, but he completely sailed the throw to Torkelson. Next play, the baseball gods bless him. Bless him with a great double play ball. Just completely botches the throw to second base. Could have been an easy double play. We end up getting another home run from Riley Green that gave us the lead, or it would have given us the lead in that game. Didn't matter because Trey Sweeney and this defense was not able to pick up Jack Flaherty, and then the bullpen in this one. Tigers lost the first time seeing that 8th spot. A lot of runs since like the Dodgers, I believe.
So season's over. It was a fluke. They're not that good anymore, right?
That's what you've been seeing on Twitter probably, but no, this team's still elite. This is going to happen in baseball.
It's a game.
Yeah, it's one of 162.
Yep.
I was growing last night watching it like, wow, I guess we're just not on our side tonight. Like, I was actually proud of myself for growing in the right direction of not crashing out every single game. Yeah, that one I blame on Trey Sweeney, though.
Yes.
Was it Herder? Who's 75? Or Hannafy?
Hannafy.
Getting rocked.
Yeah, Hannafy got rocked a little bit.
He was getting rocked when I turned it on. You know, I was texting you guys what happened.
If Trey Sweeney makes the play, you win the game.
Yeah.
Like, you scored more earned runs than they did. So you hate to lose a game like that. You need to be better. But we also knew that this Tigers defense is not the greatest.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was told that anybody playing at shortstop would be an improvement over Javi Baez.
Okay.
Just saying. I've been told that a couple times.
You were
Looks
told
like
that.
second try.
Where was Javi last night?
Javi's playing center field.
Again?
You have to. I mean, he's one of 2 guys on your team that can play center field
him
right
and
now.
Riley.
Like,
Yeah.
So, but
Any update on Parker?
we knew this defense was not going to be good, and unfortunately, it cost you the game last night. But like I said, it's one game of 162. It's not the end of the world. Just got to bounce back.
Biggest story of the night by far. It's not Trey Sweeney at all.
No.
I could, like, the 2 errors, whatever. It is the fact that Riley Green, your all-star from last year, hit 2 opposite field home runs in this game. In his last 4 games, he's almost raised his OPS a full 100 points. Literally 97. Riley Green starting to hit the ball again, and that is the biggest storyline coming out of last night. Even though you lost because of the errors, it is the fact that your all-star is starting to hit the ball again and not just get hits, but obviously 3 home runs in the last 3 games. Riley Green's looking good again. So that's the big news coming out of this one. If he's going to hit, this lineup's going to continue to put up runs and produce, and usually this pitching staff can hold it down. Flaherty made a couple errors last night, literally 2 mistakes, and they both went for 700-foot home runs.
Yeah.
They were like not any gimmies. Like those should have been out of the park.
Yeah, they were some monster shots.
Bombs. Yeah, those were not any cheap home runs. I think Jack will be fine in his last 2 starts. He's literally made 3 mistakes, and they've all been taken for just complete nukes.
Is he the 5th best starter on this team?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Why are you
He's
doing
like,
this?
I'd say he's like the 3rd, maybe.
Who's 2? Reese?
Right now, Casey Mize is the 2nd best starter on the team.
Yeah, Casey, I'd
Like
say.
right now-
But Reese is up there
Reese
now.
is up.
12.1
Yeah. It's all-
innings,
yeah.
0 runs.
If the season ended today,
crazy
Casey
that-
Mize would be top 3 in AL Cy Young voting. But it doesn't.
And
it
all-
doesn't. It's a long season, but he's pitching well, and you like. And like a Jack, you know, I'm making these jokes. He's gonna bounce back. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's one game. It's a long season.
It's crazy. We have the expectations at this point now. If like our starter gives up 4 runs, it's like the world, like the sky's falling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's how good our rotation is. It's if the starter gives up 4 runs, it's the end of the world. Like I saw people going crazy on Twitter and everything. But yeah, all in all, we have a great baseball team right now. I think we bounced back today with Reese on the mound, like we said, 12.1 innings, 0 runs, 12 Ks. He's looking good in his last 2 starts. I expect that to carry on tonight with the changeup, get back on track, and shout out all of the Riley Green haters that wanted to send him to AAA. Take a look in the mirror. It's still April, and he is back.
Yeah, he's swinging the bat very well. He's getting harder contact. Obviously, you see that with the extra base hits and the couple home runs that he's hit over the past couple games. So you need that. You know, you need your guy to be your guy. And the Tigers the Tigers pitching staff did a great job of keeping them afloat. And Spencer Torkelson, you know, when Riley Green was struggling. So now it's time for him to catch his groove and hopefully keep this Tigers team at the top of the AL.
Preach.
Early in the year, You said Flaherty might be in the Cy Young conversation. Where you at with that?
I think he has like a just above 3 ERA. I mean, I said be top 5 for it.
Yeah.
That's how he looked. I still believe he has that in him because his track record within the Tigers organization is that. He is a top-of-the-line arm. Obviously, he's given up the home runs the last 2 starts, but the strikeouts are still there. The knuckle curve is just one of the sickest pitches I've seen in a long time. Seems like every one of our starters has 1 to 2 pitches that really is fooling hitters right now. And Jack's right now is that knuckle curve. That's some of the most break I've seen in a long time. He gets it in right after the slider, so it's even slower, and it just has the hitters off track. Obviously, it's early, but I do think Jack's track record in a Tigers uniform is going to be in the conversation for one of the top guys in the AL. Probably a step below Skubal, Crochet. You could throw Hunter Brown in there from the Astros, but I think he is that second tier.
Freed has been insane so far this year as well. But
exactly. He got us too.
The Tigers have a bounty of wealth at the starting pitching position. So
is the trade Flaherty thing a bit, or you actually?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Don't start this.
Feels like a bit
with how their contract is set up, with the way they operate and what they like to do. I would not be surprised.
Well, why wouldn't it be next year? You know,
because then you don't have to pay any of that contract. That $25 million that he's owed next year.
But if you trade him, you're not paying like the full 25.
You'd have to pay a lot of it probably, and you have now a full year plus the rest of this season for a team to work with, so it's more enticing.
We're not trading one of the top arms in this rotation when we are literally the best team in the league.
It's not me, Tim.
I don't think they are. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they're going to. You can't.
They would have to have a tremendous.
You can't. No, you can't.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm just saying. I think that's why they signed him to the contract he's on, though, because like if it wasn't working out.
See, but I think it's for next year. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not paying the full 25.
Yeah.
And you.
But like I said, they're not doing that. If they do that now, Chris Ilitch would be.
Yeah.
Especially the way he's shaking out right now. Like they're gonna. I mean, you're contending. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, they're not.
You're contending.
They're not getting rid of him.
18-11, still the best team in the American League.
It's wild that run last year gave him so much confidence, man.
We got a lot to talk about. Obviously,
we got super chat from Dante151. You get that real quick?
Yeah, Dante151 says, could Torkelson make a run for Gold Glove at first base? Because what Torque has been able to do while at bat and at first base is insane. Yeah, I mean, he's really good in the field. Yeah, I mean, he has a shot. I don't think he would, but he's definitely in the mix.
Need to see him
just needs to keep hitting because it does. They do factor that in, like even though it shouldn't, but they do factor it in. He had an error the other day, but no, he's been very good at first so far this year. So hopefully he can keep that up.
Need to see him convert just a few more of those picks.
Yeah,
I just feel like a few get away from him. Obviously not all on him, but
Sweeney.
He does need to. Yes, Trey Sweeney being a lot of them. But you saw the AL Gold Glove first baseman, and he was playing for the other team last night. Christian Walker's a goddamn animal in the field, and he's won Gold Gloves before. That's who your Gold Glove first baseman's probably going to be.
Did you guys watch the Rockets Warriors at all last night?
Yeah.
Did you see Draymond, the first time in his life, maybe, broke up a fight, tried to defuse the situation, and he got teed up for it?
That's my GOAT, dude.
And hit back-to-back threes, too.
That was crazy.
That's my GOAT, dude. Doing GOAT things.
I was looking at his stat line. It was like a technical foul, a flagrant foul, 5 personal fouls.
Which I didn't even know. I thought a tech and a flagrant, you're out. I guess you're good. You got to get
2 techs.
Yeah,
two techs or a flagrant
or a flagrant two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, I did not know that. But shout out to Draymond, still doing the damn thing. When he's getting hyped, talking that shit, I saw the gray beard. I was like, damn, dude.
In the Rockets huddle.
Oh yeah.
This was arguably his best year defensively. He was insane this season.
I gotta say, my Warriors are looking real scary. That is the most
we talked about on Easter
7th seed right now.
Oh
in this playoff series, it's
by far
actually insane.
Yeah,
especially with Jimmy coming back and performing like he said after.
And he was hurt last night.
After being like. He was what they said he wasn't like able to move really. Like
I said,
he came back and had 14 in the fourth. Like,
Jimmy took a team by himself to the finals a couple years ago. Like now he's got Steph Curry.
Top 5 point guard all time.
He's got Steph and Draymond. Yeah. It's insane.
I mean,
the-
he's 1 or 2.
right? I have no
think
problem
it's
people saying he's the best anymore.
It's him
I
or
really don't.
Magic.
Yeah.
I'm with you wholeheartedly.
But we are going to go to break. We're going to come back. Obviously, the chat is very divisive about this. Brad Holmes was on the flagship today,
Yeah, I would have screen recorded, but it was kind of a long.
and people are not happy with what he had to say, especially about the edge spot.
Dude, he kind of tried gaslighting the Detroit Lions fan base.
Did he try to gaslight the Detroit Lions fan base? Does Brad Holmes care about you, Lions fans? Let's go to break. First, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home, the judgment-free zone where everybody can get a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month. Join in club or online and get that Planet Fitness membership. You don't get anything. You just get the membership. Or you can upgrade to the Black Card, get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Watch party. Oh, shampoo. We're gonna do the watch party for Detroit Pistons tonight. Make sure you guys tap in 7:30. But today, Brad Holmes, he was on the flagship. Mm-hmm. They asked him. My guy Jim Costa was asking him, that's the edge position. What are we gonna do? And he went into the whole spiel. He actually did the same spiel at the owners' meeting. We have Aiden Hudson in the league at any given time. So there's like 5 to 6 elite edge rushers.
I agree with that.
We said we already have one.
That is true.
So I don't get why people are crying for more. It's not like there's a ton out there to grab. And then Jim was like, well, Brad, I'm not asking for another Aiden Hutchinson. I'm asking for somebody that's more reliable than Marcus Davenport, somebody we can rely to produce. And essentially, he brought it back to Aiden Hutchinson point. Like I think people are mad we have Aiden Hutchinson. He's so good they want another one. It's like, no, Brad. And I love Brad, by the way.
Yeah.
But him just gaslighting us and like, oh, you're just mad because not Aiden. No, I get the edge crowd wholeheartedly. Nick and I, the day it hit me when I was fighting back with the chat, I was like, we needed it. Me and you've been fucking pro. Go get another edge for 3 years now.
Yep.
When Nick and I did the hard homework on it, and then the Super Bowl champions throughout Everdom, there's been dog-ass defensive lines. Mm-hmm. Now, I think it could be a dog-ass defensive line.
I do, too.
I think it was, especially in the run game. But in terms of getting after the quarterback, I think you need a little bit of that, too. Especially when it comes to that level of football in the playoffs where you're facing a Jaden Daniels, who we learned is pretty fucking good last year. We're going to be facing a Patrick Mahomes, or whoever it may be. You need to get after. The only people to beat Tom Brady, fucking Eli Manning, it was Justin Tuck. It was Michael Strahan. It was JPJ and droves. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I think people are asking for. And for some reason, they don't believe in that philosophy. Or do they feel put? Are you comfortable with Brad being comfortable.
No. If you're going to sit there and tell me you are happy with Marcus Davenport on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson and what he can do, I would agree with you because he's shown that he could do that. But if you're going to sit there and tell me you have faith that Marcus Davenport will be able to play not only the entire season, but a deep postseason run and into the playoffs without getting injured, I'm going to tell you you're a liar. If you truly sit there and say, I believe Marcus Davenport can play 20 games in a season, I'm going to tell you you're lying to me. And because of that, I believe you need some more insurance on that other side. Josh Pascal is very good. I like Josh Pascal. He is not a guy that's going to get after the quarterback. If you are telling me your trio of guys opposite of Aiden Hutchinson that you need to believe in to get to the quarterback are Marcus Davenport, Levi Onwuzurike, and Al-Quadin Muhammad, I'm going to be upset with that. That's why I believe Zadarius Smith is still in the work. I believe Zadarius Smith is going to be a Detroit Lion for the next season because I don't think Brad would be comfortable with that. I know how much he likes his insurance, though. He likes to grab other – like, look at the cornerback room that he added to, and he keeps bringing back guys that are going to be able to make a difference or make a play like Maddox or Rocky Ya-Sin. They're not – great pieces or these all-star level guys, but they're competent veterans who have been there before and have played in the NFL to some capacity, unlike a Mekhi Wingo or a Levi Onwuzurike. Mekhi Wingo, Levi Onwuzurike, and Marcus Davenport, you cannot tell me you are comfortable with two or, God forbid, all three of those guys playing a full season and going on a deep playoff run. It's not there. There is not a track record saying they will do it.
Well, Mekhi's catching strays. He's only been in the league 1 year.
That's exact, and you don't know what he is in the league, and he got injured. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. I want a solidified piece opposite of Aiden Hutchinson that I can say with confidence I expect to play upwards of 16 games next year. You can't do that with Marcus Davenport.
The only counterpoint I have, and I wish Brad approached it this way because you do have a talented defensive line. You just don't have that other name you're comfortable with at the opposite end, is going back to the Eagles last year. Great defensive line. Josh Sweat. Who was opposite of him?
Nolan Smith.
And I think it was a mix of what's his name too, the guy they got from the Jets.
Bryce Huff.
But they didn't really do much, right? They were like rotational pieces. I feel like maybe that's what Brad's thinking. That's like the reality of situations. What they do have, though, a phenomenal defensive tackle in Jalen Carter. We got a guy that's pretty good in Lee McNeil. They really, really, really like this guy, Tyleik Williams. Maybe that could be the counterpoint to the edge conversation. Like, maybe it doesn't matter who's there because you have these guys dominating the middle. I even go back just to past two Super Bowls, right? The Eagles, year before that, Chiefs, same situation. Chris Jones, a dominant force in the middle. And everybody else eating alongside him. George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, whoever it may be. I would have been comfortable if that was his counterpoint. Not, I think we're good. He feels like he's comfortable. And I don't even think we're re-signing Zadarius Smith, by the way, because in that video with Cash Dow, he said how much you paying me. Yeah. Sounds like he wants some money.
Nolan Smith might not be, a super household name, even though he was great at Georgia and he was a high-round pick. He played 16 games last year and had 6.5 sacks. Mm-hmm. That's what I need. I don't need a Myles Garrett. I don't need a Trey Hendrickson. I need somebody who I can expect to play football games and get to the quarterback. And if you are Brad Holmes and you are clairvoyant and could see everything and you could say Marcus Davenport will not get injured next year and he will play, give me at least 17 games, including the playoffs, I would sign up for that and be like, okay, we're ready to go. You can't do that. You can't look at me and say that that's even a realistic possibility when you look at the track record of his injuries. So that's what it is for me. You have a lot of unprovens on that other side, and when you're in a Super Bowl, I want a piece that or when you're in a Super Bowl window, when you're trying to be one of those teams that will win a Super Bowl, I want a piece on that other side that I can say, I know he's going to play, and I know he's going to produce.
Yeah, and again, just for the counterpoint, the defensive line last year with Hutch, with Marcus Davenport was out week 2, technically, because he's only there for the first 3-4 plays of week 3. Actually, I think he missed week 2 with another injury, something completely different. Hutch was still eating.
Absolutely,
they were still productive. I think that's where he's at. He's seen what the defense was. I remember him talking about just going back and watching some tape on a free agent with the Cardinals offensively. He's like, I forgot how good the defense was when healthy, and I think that's where he's kind of. I guess putting the pin in the whatever you want to call it.
And I said, I like the talent they have. I really do. But nobody could sit there with a straight face and convince me that 2 of those 3 guys on the other side of Hutch are going to play more than 5 games next year. There isn't a track record of it. And
I love Ahmed, but like, do we know
he's a rookie?
I heard someone say today, and I think he will. I really, really, really do. But you're 100% correct. Question mark. He's a rookie. Don't know the production there. But somebody else brought it up today too. Are we sure he's going to make the team? Mm-hmm. You know, and I think he will. I do. I really do. But like, he is a little bit of developmental piece.
And you guys know why? You know, like you said, when everybody was healthy, they went out there and they were playing at an elite level. Aiden Hutchinson was eating. This whole team was eating. But it's football. Not everybody is going to stay healthy. And maybe it's not your blue chip pass rusher going down for the whole season, but maybe it's those other guys that have a history of being injured, getting injured. So, yeah, did I miss Aiden Hutchinson? Yes. Do I think we beat the Commanders if we have Aiden Hutchinson? Probably. I think we beat the Commanders if Jared Goff doesn't throw 4 interceptions. Yeah. So I'm not saying it is make or break that they sign another edge rusher, but to sit here and act like it isn't a point of contention or it isn't something that you can realistically have expectations about improving is a little much.
That's what I'm with on the whole Commander situation. I don't even think the defense was a major issue. I think it's the turnovers that fucked you more than anything. And you put your defense in bad spots and they can't get off the fucking field because you're constantly turning the ball over. But Nick, I know you want to speak on this one. You're the one that was you got criticized for wanting an edge in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, 200 comments later, I mean, you'd think that I've changed my mind about this, but I haven't. And I almost think Brad Holmes is legitimately spiting the fan base at this point.
No, he's
the
not.
way he is gaslighting on these interviews, I listened today. I thought it was atrocious.
He definitely was gaslighting.
The way he was gaslighting the shit
crazy
out of the fan base. He was talking to the fans like they were like little kindergartners, like reading them a little book about what goes into getting an edge rusher. That's literally what it sounded like to me in my eyes.
I think he actually used that expression at some point.
But I will say this. Do I feel comfortable if Josh Paschal, in his 36 games that has only produced 5 sacks on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson in a big spot in the playoffs this season? Or would I rather see Zadarius Smith, who had 9 sacks in 17 games last year? I would rather see Zadarius Smith, and I am doing whatever the hell I need to do to get him to come back for another year on an incentive, laden deal where you are 10 plus million, come in, bring me 7+ sacks. That's all we need from you, Zadarius Smith. That's what I'm looking for. It's just an extra insurance policy because I don't have faith in Davenport Spenny. I don't have faith that Paschal can be an impact pass rusher. I think he can be quality in the run game, but I'm looking for that extra push from Aiden Hutchinson. And, I'm just not seeing it out of the guys we have now. And I thought Brad was extremely arrogant today, but, I mean, he has the right to be in a sense of we have turned this ship around.
For sure.
But we're still not over the hump yet.
Yeah.
And that's where all of us want to go at the end of the day.
And like I said, I like Davenport opposite Aiden Hutchinson. I think Davenport is a very skilled defensive end, and he excels at getting to the passer when he is on the field. He has never once proven that he can stay on the field. And if you want to say that you can't assume injuries or do that, you could say that about anybody. I agree with that. You can't be like, okay, but what if he gets hurt? Unless he does every year.
40% of his career games he's played.
Yeah, it's like, Joel Embiid, he'd be the best player in the league.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he only plays half the games he's in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It comes to a point where that is a factor, and that is something you have to think about and prepare for. But like I said, I am somewhere in the middle of both sides because I'm not like, oh, yeah, Brad, don't address it. You're fine. You're good.
But don't gaslight us.
But I'm also not at the point to where, like, if they don't sign an edge right now, they're not winning the Super Bowl.
Because that's why I was going to go, because Cody Engel asked the question. He said, so before Hutch went down, do you guys think we weren't going to win the Super Bowl because there was another edge opposite of Aiden Hutchinson?
No. That's why it took me until Ali McNeil got injured to be like, all right, they're not winning the Super Bowl.
For me, it was always a defensive line. I remember 2 years ago, you guys asked me, I said, no, I don't think our defensive line is good enough. Then we grabbed DJ Reader. I was on board. I'm on board now still, too. Because, I gave you the counterpoint to the defensive tackles.
Yeah.
I do think Aleem's really good. Obviously, they targeted Tyleek as Aleem 2.0. And, yeah, I'll take 2 Aleems all day.
Our defensive tackle rotation when Aleem McNeil comes back is going to be one of the best in football.
It's going to be gross, man.
And that is something you can hold solace in.
Real quick, I want to get the super chat and we'll go to break, come back. I'm down to continue this conversation as well, but get to some of these comments. But Brad is here right now, and he is laughing. At you specifically, he knows what you want, and he does the exact opposite for LOLs. That's from Bird.
See, that is where I will not subscribe ever. He is intentionally spiting the fan base by doing this, or he hears what we say, and he does he is doing everything that he believes puts the Lions and the organization in the best place to succeed. And 9 times out of 10, he makes the right decision. So I'm not going to say, no, Brad is spitefully not picking an edge because he wants the fans to pay. No, that's stupid. If he felt it was the biggest need, as everybody else does, he would address it. He just doesn't think it's that big of a need.
Just a fan says, I agree with Nick. Brad Holmes just saying he's the smartest on every move. Can I say Broderick Martin, Hendon Hooker? To be fair, though, just a fan, those are 2 out of,
Yeah, can you
12.
say Kirby Joseph, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson,
Aleem McNeil.
Hutch
number 2 overall pick, but
still.
Yeah. Still.
It's like I think
it's
it's somewhere.
Fan said that, actually.
I think it's somewhere in between both people. I think it's somewhere in between both extremes, which most things normally tend to be.
Well, get your comments in the chat. We'll read them when we come back. We do got to pay some bills, though. Nick, tell us about Feldman.
Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 6 consecutive years. Get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew for just $199 a month. And you can also get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Buddy's Pizza.
Pizza.
Buddy's Pizza created the category of the original Detroit-style pizza and has been serving it since 1946. With 22 locations in Michigan, there's always a Buddy's Pizza near you. Buddy's is a cornerstone of the city of Detroit, being here for 79 years and is a dedicated community partner. With notable partnerships with local organizations like Michigan Humane, Salvation Army, the Detroit Zoo, and more. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's the numbers 10 and then MEAL. Go find a location near you at buddiespizza.com.
What up, though, mate? What up, Waits Live on sports.com. He's joined by some more reaction. Chris, Nicholas, Koloff, Shampoo, a.k.a. Seinfeld. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. So I crashed out Saturday.
Yeah, you did.
This conversation is kind of partly why. Because I'm with you. Like, I could get on board of winning a Super Bowl next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think the road to get there in the regular season won't be as pretty as last year's was. Don't care. Give me to the dance.
Yep.
More specifically, let's dance at home in Ford Field. But the trade-up, you're giving up 2 third-round picks, essentially, for the one. Because the other situation was just exchange. And then 2 thirds on top of that was gross to me. And I went in this a little bit yesterday, too. Because that's what you can give up at deadline to get a Chase Young. Like we saw the 49ers do. Like if the Marcus Davenport situation doesn't last the deadline, or he's out within the first 3 games, just like it was last year, and just like it was many other times in his career. That's the fucking type of assets you'd use to go acquire another guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a superstar name. That's why that pissed me off. I think the assets of the 3rd-round picks were so much more valuable than moving up in the 3rd round. The 3rd fucking round. For a guy that primarily plays the slot receiver position.
And that is a fair take. But obviously Brad values Tesla more than he would a random edge rusher off of a team that's unnamed right now.
But that's the thing, too, is like Tesla, as much as I actually, and we can talk about it today, too. Brad actually said today he was his favorite wide receiver in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I have high expectations, high hopes for him as well. But it's still a question mark at the end of the day.
Yep.
In the 3rd round, Brad moved up to grab Broderick Martin. In the 3rd round, Brad moved up to grab Hendon Hooker. Those situations didn't work out. So it's a question mark still versus that random edge rusher, certified, like you know what it is.
He also grabbed Aleem McNeil and Kirby Joseph in the 3rd round. So things like that have worked out before.
For sure. But you didn't trade up to do it. But by the way, Kirby Joseph, Aleem McNeil 3rd round, you traded up both those guys. That's where they picked. You gave up 2 3rd-round picks.
You also gave up a Broderick Martin and Hendon Hooker, so you can go both ways.
But the real reality of it is, I'd rather use those assets to go and grab a piece that I know is productive at the NFL level.
Like I said, I'm not mad at that at all.
And Isaac Tesla himself, and this is like a thing where if you pay attention to some of the Shadur stuff going around, I'm not tapping in too much of it. I think Mel Kiper just burned me out of the whole conversation, but I think it was Brett Koloff to put it out there yesterday. Not Koloff, Coleman. And he said, this is why you hire an agent. Shadur never had an agent. Mm-hmm. And agents, obviously talk to other agents. They talk to teams. Like, they get a real gauge of where you're going to be at in the draft. Like, you know where it's going to be. Isaac Tesla thought he was going in the 5th round. But there's no guarantee that somebody's going to take him in the 3rd round, too, when you gave up all that stuff. I get liking a guy. I didn't like what you did to get him. Is where I'm at. I still think he's going to be good. But I think edge is more of an important need right now than it is wide receiver.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know. Like I said, I can't criticize the draft class at all outside of that trade. Like, I love all the picks they made. They got really good players that are going to make.
I still like Tesla too. Yeah. I just didn't like what he cooked up to get there.
It's just tough value to swallow. Like you said, when you are in a situation to where you are trying to win a Super Bowl, and you could use picks like that at the deadline to get somebody. But also, it didn't take a 3rd-round pick to get Zadarius Smith last year. Mm-hmm. And Zadarius Smith was the best edge moved at the trade deadline last year. So these guys that are, edge rushers don't bounce around too much. We'll see what happens. But I would like them to sign Zadarius Smith.
They for sure had the highest grade on Tesla throughout the whole entire draft process because you don't make that kind of move, going against the grain from where everybody else had him. If you don't believe this, and the grade that they had on him was one of the upper echelon, obviously, wide receivers in this draft, which he ended up talking about. I don't know if we're going to get to that or not.
We can get into it now.
But when he talks about those D ends, he's always, you guys were telling me, don't fucking fall in love with these guys because he is not going to do it. And he doubled down today when he was speaking. He said, they don't fit what we do. Mm-hmm. And I thought at this point, maybe you should get out of your scheme a little bit or get out of the ways that you are 100% stuck in because some of these guys are so damn talented. I think you need to get out of the scheme. But obviously he doesn't believe that at all. So he's not going to go out and trade for a guy with those picks. He would rather get the guy he knows in Tesla that he has the high grade on, that he's scouted, that he's reported behind those curtains that he talks about that we don't get to see. So I agree with you. Like, you could upgrade at the deadline, but he's not going to go out and get like the random, maybe high upside guy because he hasn't, talked to him behind closed curtains.
They were never going to take Mike Green for a reason outside of him not fitting their scheme. Like, we know all
I'm
the
saying like Azaraku, other guys in the 2nd round.
Again, I don't know if Brad Holmes needs to change his scheme or what he thinks or their defensive scheme because we saw
it's more of a Dan Campbell thing.
When it was healthy last year, it worked. They were a top 5 defense in the NFL. So it was obviously working. It's just everybody died. That's what it was.
All my friends are dead.
when your team falls apart like that, there's nothing much you can do. And a rookie is not going to help a team that lost Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport and Ali McNeil and Wingo and all of these guys throughout the season. It's just not. You could say is that Brad drafting, injury-prone guys. Like Aiden Hutchinson wasn't injury-prone. Malcolm Rodriguez wasn't injury-prone. Like last year was just so stupid.
It was wild.
It's true. It was.
That's what we get for having Hulk Hogan at training camp.
Yeah, maybe it was. Historically, an insane stretch of injuries. So, I don't know, man.
Truly historic. And again, I'm not.
You guys know I wanted an edge. I'd rather have an edge, but you didn't get one, except for Ahmed in the 6th round. Hopefully, he can be something. Hopefully, he can go out there and make some things happen. But if you stay healthy, you got one of the best rosters in football, if not the best roster in football.
And I think we still do. I really do. I don't want this to come off as like we're not going to win or anything negative like that. I don't know if he's just tired of the edge question, so he's purposely saying shit to piss people off now, to push against it, right? But like,
seems like he is.
It kind of does, because there's just no way.
He's definitely gaslighting.
Do you believe this shit? I love him, and I'm with you in terms of like, I don't mind, like, keep the scheme. The scheme's working. We can't say that it's not.
Yeah.
But don't say, like, I don't know, it's just weird to me that you have, as smart as you are, and what your job is that you're comfortable with Marcus Davenport. Like, your job is to build the roster up, so that's not the situation.
He obviously doesn't we've known this about Brad for a long time.
Bargain.
He does not factor
The
injury
injuries.
history into his evaluation of a player.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's crazy to me.
It is really a little bit crazy. When you have it 5 and 5 years, like it kind of adds up. But we've known that. So Brad sees his team on paper, and he says we're fine there because he doesn't factor anybody getting injured into that. Because realistically, you can't unless they have an extensive history of being injured and not playing in games.
Like Marcus Davenport.
Ed O'Neill in the Woodward Sports Chat says the Eagles' defense clears while healthy. Do you still think the Eagles have the best defense over us, a better defense than us?
I think it's close.
I think they lost a lot of talent.
I think it's very close. I think we have 2 of the top 3 safeties in the NFL. I think we have 1 of the top 4 edge rushers in the NFL. I think we have a top 5 linebacking core in the NFL, and then we'll see what the defensive tackle rotation, what that looks like. But when healthy, you're hard to look at a better roster in football than the Detroit Lions when healthy. But that is a factor. I'm not saying that's not a factor. Because, like, when healthy, Bo Jackson was the greatest sport player ever. Like, the greatest athlete in the history of athletes. But he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
That is a factor. As much as he doesn't think about it being one, it is. And that will always be in the back of my mind. I said Marcus Davenport's going to be second on this team in sacks. And if he stays healthy for more than 11 games, he could pretty much walk into that role.
For sure.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I think the game plan specifically in that situation is to force the quarterbacks Hutch's way. And Hutch finishes them. This is an alley-oop situation. And it worked last year. So I have no problem with it at all. It's just the shit he said today, it was gross to me. I didn't like that. He was gaslighting us. And that's why I guess it's coming off so passionate. We don't not believe in Detroit Lions or Brad Holmes or anything that we got going on. It's just like, don't tell me you actually believe that this guy's going to survive the season. I guess that's where we're, like, getting kind of heated.
Yeah.
It kind of, like, it kind of seeing the quotes on Twitter and, like, hearing how you guys interpret it, it kind of does feel insulting a little bit that he's kind of, like, that he is kind of gaslighting us with these comments and such because it feels like you're trying to play victim when nobody's trying to make you a victim. You know what I mean? Like everybody, like you're just handling the criticism the wrong way. It's just that. It's just criticism. It doesn't mean that you can't be the best at your job and still have criticism. We critique the best athletes on a day-to-day basis, the best executives, the best coaches. So to me, it kind of feels like that, like, why are you trying to pull the victim card right now? Like, you could just laugh it off, make a joke, say, yeah, I've heard about it, or no, I haven't heard, haven't thought about that, and then keep it moving. But, like, I feel like you're trying to, when you say it the way you're saying it, it kind of almost seems like he was trying to, like, victimize the way we question him about the selection, about the not getting an edge.
Also, when you look at it,
gaslighting.
Yeah.
Do the Chiefs have a better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson?
No.
I mean, Chris Jones is pretty fucking good.
No, Karlaftis is not at the level of Aiden Hutchinson.
Let's talk about Chris Jones.
Do the Eagles have a better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson?
No.
Do the Ravens have a better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson?
No.
Do the Bills have a better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson?
No.
Do the Packers have a better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson?
No.
Those are the teams that we're talking about that are the upper echelon teams of the NHL or NFL, excuse me. And we have the best pass rusher out of all of them. Got to stay healthy. Not just Hutch. The unit has to stay healthy.
Yes.
But especially Aiden Hutchinson.
That's the one.
You will not win a Super Bowl if Aiden Hutchinson is not playing in it.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Yeah, the only one to take out of that conversation is Chris Jones. I'd make it debatable. But you're talking about specifically edge, it's Hutch, not of all those teams.
Yeah, 100%.
Aiden Hutchinson, I believe, if he stayed healthy last year, would have cemented himself as a top 3 edge rusher in the NFL. He would have been close to, if not breaking, the sack record and would have been a walk-away defensive player of the year.
Yeah, but context, too, he faced – it sounds crazy. Literally all backup tackles as well. So, I mean, it's, you know –
So, okay, I'll give you Chris Jones if you want Chris Jones. That is maybe one out of, the 7 teams that I mentioned that are all the upper echelon teams in the NFL?
He's a defensive tackle, too, so it's like what he's doing is that's nuts.
Yeah. There are only 3, maybe 4 defensive linemen I would rather have on my team than Aiden Hutchinson.
Who are they?
Garrett Watt,
Crosby, and then Chris Jones or Dexter Lawrence.
I don't even know if I'm putting Crosby in front of him the way Hutch was looking.
But okay, yeah, not even maybe I would want more than Aiden Hutchinson, but that I would value as much as Aiden Hutchinson. I'll say that.
No, he's one of the premier guys in the league, without a doubt. He is the piece that needs to stay healthy. I think you see him be productive, and we had, and no offense to him, but Isaac Buggs in there. It's like, so other guys can drop, but we need him and Aleem and Tyreek now as well to stay healthy. We need guys to eat blocks, command double teams, demand double teams, and Hutch can do what he does, or flush guys out towards Hutch. Hutch finishes them. Pause. But we will go to break, come back. Tell us about Loom, Nick.
Loom Cannabis. Make sure you guys check out Loom. It's the best on the market right now. They're crushing it. But did you know they've got all the brands that you love now for less?
Parsons too.
With unbeatable prices, a wider selection, and the best loyalty program. Loom is the premier destination for new and experienced shoppers alike. Experience Michigan's #1 recreational dispensary at one of their 38 locations. So you know there's one near you. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order, online or in store. That is code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order. Go to www.loom.com today.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Les Stanford Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive for only $259 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com.
Buongiorno, welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, Joe Maspimo, Reaction, Chris, Nicholas Koloff.
Like Paul.
Young Shampoo, a.k.a. Seinfeld, a.k.a. Jerry, whatever nickname you prefer. Shout out to Mark at Woodward Sports Chat. He says, why do you guys watch if you're going to hate on the boys? It's not like, oh, he's talking to something totally different. I thought he was talking about the Detroit Lions. Cool will be joining the show shortly, talk Detroit Pistons. I didn't expect to spill over this deep with the Detroit Lions talk from the very first segment, but passionate crew here when it comes to the Detroit Lions. I do want to spill the conversation a little bit of the Isaac Tesla stuff. We talked about the trade scenario, but Brad also made a comment about him being his favorite wide receiver in the draft. Not the best, but his favorite.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
When you, who the fuck is that guy?
I feel like Brad really was talking to us like we were his side piece.
No,
like,
I
baby,
understand
I
that.
love you. I just
You're
can't
not the
right
best,
now. Yeah,
but-
just twisted. Yeah, like
That is
you
some
know you're my
side piece
favorite.
shit.
You're just not the best.
Yeah.
Like what? What do you mean?
Damn shame she my number 2, but ride the dick the best.
Yes.
It's
He talked to us like we were his side bitch.
that is side bitch
all
talk.
the entire interview.
I'm a low key bitch for Brad Holmes right now.
We are.
That is side bitch talk. It
Yeah.
really is. It's like, you know, I love you, but I love her more.
I mean, he's so good at delivering his part that we'll allow it. But like, damn, Brad, some respect here, please.
Yeah, that.
What's that mean?
I mean, I kind of like if I like.
I get it if you're talking
Am
about.
I a good side bitch? Because I'm starting to like do mental gymnastics on how to make sense. Like, well, see,
For
I'm
sure.
I'm his favorite. So
You know what? I can make sense of
it's,
it like
it's the
this, I guess.
measurables and the RAS score and the stuff like.
Well, and beyond like that stuff too, like the character of it all too.
Yeah.
Like an example, LeBron. No, that's not good. Cade's my favorite, but I can
he's
say
not the
he's
best
not
player.
best.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
okay, now we
So Cade's our main bitch, and
We're doing the gymnastics.
yeah,
We're getting there.
Kyrie's my side piece. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
What?
I don't know, man. That was perfect. That was a perfect explanation
Yes.
of what Brad Holmes. It really is like,
Because they do believe in
you know,
stuff.
I love you, girl, but that's
Yeah.
my wife. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it too. Like now that we broke it down like that, like okay, Cade's our favorite, but he's not the best. I get it in the sense of like what they look for when they draft these guys. We talked about it yesterday. Like every one of these Detroit Lions, they come from Brad's draft class. They got that Kobe mindset. They got that fucking like I'm just determined to will myself through any and every type of situation that faces me. I'm gonna run through this obstacle. I'm gonna fucking blow through it like the Kool-Aid Man. And I could see that being your favorite because you're the mentality, and then you got the measurables on top of it. Now, can I clear cut say he's better than Tet McMillan? No. Not right now.
No.
You know, is he going to be damn good? Yes, but I can't say he's going to be better than those type of guys. So I guess now it's making a little bit more sense.
It's like
am I a good side bitch?
I was really like, but I could see what he means, and he actually truly meant it from his heart. I could tell that he really meant it. No, but it's the measurables. It's the work ethic. It's blocking downfield. It's being a Michigan guy, knowing the system, knowing the that all is a factor of why he likes him the best. And he wouldn't have drafted him in the first round, obviously, because he wasn't the best, but he was his favorite. That's also some real gaslighting shit, dude.
What?
Brad's gaslighting.
He
hard.
gaslit the fuck out that interview. Honestly.
I love it.
Honestly. And the other thing,
that's
too,
so funny.
The gangster
side
part
piece
about it, too, is
material.
like he fucking knows he's the man, so he can't really, like, question too much. You know, it's really like, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Oh, what happens if I don't draft that? You going to fire me?
Yeah. Oh, you don't like you don't like the pass rushers that I've drafted in the 4th round and beyond? Huh? You don't like Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Sam Laporta, or Jameson Williams, huh?
Nope.
I don't know those guys, right?
Yeah.
That's
Dude, that side piece.
Dude.
to say, but I love it as a
Yeah.
side piece. That's crazy. But
You know, you're not my number one, but I just feel so deeply for you. Like,
but I can't be without
I
you.
love my wife.
I know he's got
But
something else.
I just appreciate you so much.
You know he's gonna go to that wide receiver and he's gonna be like, "Look at what I gave up for you.
Yeah,
look at what
I know she's got a man, but we're together, man. It's a vibe.
It's
You
a
know, she shows
vibe.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep those
She
for a
likes you,
first
man.
round pick.
She really does.
Hey, they wanted to keep those for a first round pick, but I was like, nah, you're the one.
That shit's
Like,
funny.
That's
dude.
crazy.
That shit is fun. I like Tesla a lot, but I like Tesla a lot. He's not the best receiver of the draft. No.
That's what he said. He's
That's
our
what
favorite.
he's saying. It's just funny that he said it like that.
It's hilarious.
I was expecting him to fall in love with the first round guy and go up and get him. He obviously was waiting till the third to fall in love with his guy, where he's gonna put it on the table and be like, fan base, this is the one that you're gonna fucking go crazy for because he's my favorite guy.
And I guess
he traded 2 more third-round picks to do it.
Yeah, stop
3
saying
total.
it.
So I was expecting this in the first round. This is what I was thinking was going to happen in this draft because he does do it usually once a draft.
3 total for a third-round pick and 2 6.
And 2 6, which he's done well hitting on 6-rounders, so it's good in the back end to get that. You know, if we need some cheap players back in the day for some depth, but he went up, he got his guy. I didn't think it was going to be a wide receiver, but here we are. And I've heard a lot of comps coming out about former stuff in L.A. and Cooper.
It's
Puka
Puka
Nacua
more than it is Cooper.
Speaking of our guy, we got one waiting for us. That's Cool Khalil. We'll come back, talk Detroit Pistons. But Feist.
He's the best and our favorite.
He's
the best and our favorite.
We got Kool-Aid too.
All right, let's go to break. Mark White.
Tell us about Mark White.
Mark White.
Mark White, gonna do you right. Give my guy Mark White a call today if you're looking to purchase a new home, because he can save you up to $5,000. Just give him a call today, 248-290-8242. Visit markwhitesales.com. That's 248-290-8242. Visit markwhitesales.com.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports.
Jars wants to welcome everyone to Deli Day, a statewide celebration on May 3rd. To kick off the full deli experience, Jars will host the Deli Day on May 3rd, offering a stacked lineup of in-store promotions. Customers can receive a free at the flour up to $20 of value. Also, take advantage of the buy one, get one free deals on deli-style flour up to an ounce. Buy one, get 1 ounce, ladies and gentlemen. The first 100 customers will score a free half ounce. The date marks a significant milestone for Jars as the anniversary of the retailer opening its very first store in Detroit, a fitting tribute to the roots and its continued evolution. Visit shopjars.com to find participating locations. And now, without further ado, my man Koo. God damn it, Chris.
Sorry, I was trying to get his nameplate. Here we go. We're good. I had to make sure people knew.
I did a rhyme and everything. Yeah, what up? God damn it, Chris.
There's so many. It's so hard to rhyme Koo, guys.
What up, though, man? How you feeling about tonight, man?
What's happening? I'm feeling, feeling like they're down 3-1. I guess that's the feeling I got. But hoping they extend the series to Game 6 back at Little Caesars Arena. I'd love to go to another game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the atmosphere like covering it like that?
Oh, it was something I've never experienced in my life. The first Game 3 was something I've never experienced. We had people from the Knicks media in the same row looking over like, bro, what the Like people were like, everyone there was just like, dude, it felt like every 5 seconds they were trying to burst your eardrums. Like it was insane.
That's amazing, man. I really wish the guy won at home, man.
Yeah,
I really do. That sucks. Yeah, I mean
they had a few chances, but
yeah. Where you at with that? The whole referee situation? Are you over it now, or you still bugging about it, or what?
I mean, I'm bugged by it for sure. There's not much you can do about it. Obviously, there's not anything you can do about it. But like, it's frustrating for sure. It's incredibly frustrating. And the part that makes it like so much more frustrating for me is like Knicks fans have, and there's been a select few people that have tried to say, oh, well, they've allowed physicality the whole series. Why are you asking for a foul on that? For people to like lack the common sense to understand
why
that physicality in the paint, physicality before you even get past half court, physicality on drives is completely different from actively hitting a shooter. Like you can allow physicality on drives in the paint because that is not directly impacting your shot. Anything that is directly impacting your shot, if that's the case, then you might as well just have speared THA then and should just let it go then. Like you can't, anything that involves impacting someone's outside shot should be called a foul. And I mean, it was as bad as possible that the ref came out. They didn't even wait to the last 2-minute report. They came out 30 minutes after the game. It was like, yeah, my bad. Like, it's tough, but you know, it's not much you can do about it. It is what it is. You gotta keep it going.
And looking into this next game in New York, obviously Isaiah Stewart is not going to play in this one again. What is the most important factor to the Pistons winning this game and bringing the series back to Detroit?
I'm gonna sound like a broken record, man, and people are gonna get so mad about it. But I'm gonna keep beating this drum until it happens. The Pistons have to play Ausar Thompson, bro. You have to play him. He cannot continue to sit on the bench. You have your best defender on the bench as Jalen Brunson continues to look like Michael Jordan every fourth quarter because he's going against Dennis Schroeder, who is smaller and not as strong as him. He's going against THA, who's not as laterally quick and is not a good defender. He's going to Malik Beasley, who's not a good defender. You have maybe the best guy in the league that is most equipped to guard Brunson on the bench. They got to play him. I went through multiple podcasts breaking down all the numbers. I don't want to bore you guys with all the numbers here to back up the statement because I know people are going to say, Koo, have you not seen his offense? He's not scoring. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. And that's fair. He does have half-court limitations. But like friend of my podcast, Matt Griffin, said today on the pod, the question isn't, does Ausar Thompson make your half-court offense better? The question is, does Ausar Thompson make the Detroit Pistons better? And the answer unequivocally by almost every data point is by far yes. I'll throw a few numbers out, just a few. I won't bore you guys with it completely, but I'll give you guys a few. There's only one duo lineup or one two-man lineup with Jalen Duren that has a positive net rating. It's Ausar Thompson. Every other defensive rating, you're over 113 points. Malik Beasley and Jalen Duren, you're minus 37. Dennis Schroeder and Jalen Duren, it's minus 25. Tobias and Jalen Duren, it's minus 14. Kate Cunningham and Jalen Duren, it's minus 13. You're getting obliterated in the minutes without Ausar because you can't get stops. Next one, starting lineup that they have. It's a plus 19.2. The Pistons starting lineup is dominating the Knicks starting lineup, but yet they're not running it enough because they keep sitting Ausar because they theoretically want to boost a half-court offense that is not boostable. If you were bringing in Ausar to bring in a Norman Powell or to bring in someone like that actually would elevate your half-court offense as a secondary creator and someone who can break down a defense, fair enough. I see you guys got it. There you go.
I got you.
I
got you.
But if you were bringing in someone who actually could elevate the offense, then I would understand it. That would make sense. The problem is that nobody you're bringing in for Ausar is elevating your offense. They're not creating their own shot. They're not creating for others. They're not hitting shots right now, and they're 10 times worse defensively. So the swap you're trying to make is not actually happening, and you're suffering massively defensively. And the last thing I'll say on it is this. I know this people can't comprehend this apparently. I'll try my best to make it as easy as possible for you. The Pistons are at 1.1 points better with Ausar on the floor offensively. Why is that? Because their best offense is not their half-court offense. There's nothing the Pistons can do this year that will make them a good half-court offense. Their best offense is getting stops and running. getting stops and getting cross matches. That's their best offense, and that happens when you have Ausar on the floor because you get stops. So I understand that he's not playing as well individually in the half court. The point is, it doesn't really matter because everything else he's doing is impacting the team. If they played him more, I think there's 2-2 at the very least. So that was a long-winded answer, but I'm so frustrated by this because every single number possible is telling you play Ausar Thompson, and they're not playing Ausar Thompson. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I was going to expound on it, but I think the clip you put up today of you and your boy talking about it, just the context behind it, and obviously, I know you and I get thrown in the Jaden Ivey hater conversation. We bring it up, but like when Ausar came back this year, we were below 500. We took off and became the 6th seed after that. It's just that simple, I guess, to put it in the context like that. But Chris has a question about Jalen Duren as well.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of follow up on Jalen Duren that you mentioned because he, to me, has been the biggest disappointment with a -42 box score plus-minus. That's the worst in the series. I think it's obvious to say disappointing, but where are you at with Jalen Duren? Because obviously you can't not play him. You need a center. But where are you at with the Jalen Duren? With the Jalen Duren, are you concerned for the future? Where are you at with it?
So JD, there's a few things. One, I do think he's played good defense at points, and it's just Cat has hit some unbelievable shots. There's been at times where Cat's, that fadeaway he hit over the backboard. It's like, what are you going to do?
That was insane.
So, yeah, that's just crazy shot making. So there's a few times where it's just like, you know what, you give it up to the offensive player. Cat's playing great. The problem with JD is the same problem that came into the playoffs. He's not good defending guys in space. So therefore, the Pistons have tried to hide him on Josh Hart and put Tobias on Cat and kind of allow him to be a roamer. The problem with that is that, one, when Tobias Harris gets into foul trouble, that forces Duren to then guard Cat, and he's just not well equipped to guard him on the perimeter. The second thing is, like you mentioned, Eazy, like the Pistons got better when Ausar came to the starting lineup, not because of offense, because what he brought to their defense and how much he helped Jalen Duren defensively. It's why they're so good with him and JD on the floor, because despite their lack of spacing offensively, Ausar as a screen navigator, as a point of attack defender, makes it a lot easier for JD to rotate, to contest shots. He doesn't have to cover so many gaps, and he can go after shots at the rim and trust that he has someone on the backside that's going to rebound for him. So when he's playing with other defenders, he's better. I think more so than the defense, because I believe that the defense will be fine with him and Ausar. I think that will get fine. I think that what's been most disappointing for me is JD just has not been able to put any pressure on Cat, and that's, I think, by far the most disappointing point of it. Cat has struggled with foul trouble throughout his playoff career. He is not a great defender, and JD, part of what made him, or was showing that he was getting so much better, and what made him such an interesting prospect, what makes him such an interesting prospect and a player, is his live ball creation, his ability to run DHOs, his ability to drive from the high post, get it to the rim, finish at the rim. And we were seeing more and more and more of that as the season went on. And we just haven't seen it at all in the playoffs at all. Like, really, not even a little bit. He hasn't been able to get Cat in foul trouble. He hasn't been able to put pressure on the rim. He hasn't been able to score in the paint. I think that's where it's been, not the defense. I think offensively, the fact he hasn't been able to take advantage of Cat at all in the paint is, I think, the most disappointing part about it. But I will say, I want to make it clear, I do think he's trying extremely hard. I don't agree with the people who say he's not trying. I think he's trying. It's just he's not good at some things, and they're taking advantage of it.
Yep. And another thing that has been disappointing for the Detroit Pistons team has been Malik Beasley's shooting since Game 1. Since Game 1, I believe he's 6 of 27 from 3, and you're not going to beat a better team. You're not going to beat a team loaded with perimeter defenders like that when they are allowed to sag off of you and attack Cade Cunningham because you're not hitting your shots. How frustrating has it been watching Malik Beasley? Because it's not like these are bad shots or shots that he hasn't been hitting all year. It's just not dropping.
Yeah, the thing with Malik Beasley is, and I know he ruffled some feathers posting this on his Snapchat today, but I do somewhat agree with him. Like, he's getting his shot, whether he goes 0 of 0, 0 of 10, 0 of 100, 10 of 10. He's getting his shots. You just got to live with it, really. And it's been tough because a lot of the Pistons' half-court offense all year, we've talked about this on the podcast a ton, a major point of the Pistons' half-court offense has just been Malik Beasley crazy tough shot making from 3. Like, that was the majority of their off-the-bench scoring until they got Schroeder. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they just don't have it at all right now is part of the reason why their half-court offense has even gotten worse from being like below average to just straight up poor during the playoffs because Malik just hasn't been able to hit his shots. I think what Malik, the situation with Beasley is it's really going to come down to JB, and it's tough. When you have vets that have proven it to you all season, it's tough to sit them down and not play them the minutes that you've been playing them. But the problem with Beasley is if he's not hitting his shots, he gets picked on the other end defensively. And their defense with him on the floor has been terrible. So I'm interested to see how they play it tonight. Do they give him a few, do they trust him for the first half if he's cold? Do they continue to run him out a lot in the second half? It's tough. He started to get hot a little bit in that fourth quarter. But it's just a tough situation. You want his shot making. You need his shot making from beyond the arc. But if he's not hitting that, he's just he has a negative impact because of how poor of a defender he is. So, and the main thing too is whether he's making shots or not, the Knicks are guarding Cade the same way. Whether he's hitting or not, they're trapping, they're blitzing, they're doubling. It doesn't matter. That's really the reason why the whole Asar Beasley argument really doesn't make sense to me because whether he's hitting his shots or not. The Knicks have made it clear we're trapping and blitzing Cade no matter what is going on behind. We're not going to. We don't believe that these guys, Beasley, Schroeder, Harris, THA, will make enough shots to make us stop running this defense. And through 4 games, they've been right. So, it is what it is.
Do you think that affects the way they approach his contract situation? Especially got Duren and Ivy coming too.
For Beasley, I don't think so. I think they'll still pay Beasley. Beasley was so good this year during the regular season. I don't want to overreact too much to a small sample in the playoffs, but it is not nothing. I still think you want to pay him, though. I think he's probably going to get I forget what the exact name. I think it's the non-taxpayer mid-level exception that they'll be able to offer him, or above the cap mid-level exception, whatever it's called. I forget what it is, but it's going to be around $15 million. I think that's what they'll end up offering him, and he'll get that. Ivy and Duren, I really don't know what they're going to do with those guys. I think for me, the smart thing for me would just be to wait and just take it in restricted free agency. I'm always cautious with that kind of stuff. But I do understand the argument of, okay, let's maybe, get them locked down early, get them cheaper, and then maybe next year we're looking back at it like, oh, thank God you signed them early or you would have had to pay them more. I would rather be safe, but Jay and Ivy coming off an injury, I'd like to see what it looks like coming back. And then JD's concerns defensively are kind of being on display in the playoffs. It's not me saying I don't think he's the center of the future. It's not me saying you have to get rid of him. I just don't know how confident I would feel. I'm assuming like $25, $27 million is what he's going to ask for. I don't know just how comfortable I would be doing that, but who knows? I really have no clue. Beasley, I feel pretty confident they're going to re-sign him. Those two guys, I don't know what the extension is going to look like.
And what do you make of Cade Cunningham's performance in this series so far? He's taken a lot of scrutiny, obviously, especially when it comes down to the last-second situations and really not being able to deliver the knockout punch in a couple of these games. How are you grading his performance in his first playoff?
Yeah, I think if you can't walk away from Cade's first playoff series feeling down at all, really. I feel like if you look at the numbers he's putting up, most people's efficiency drops in the playoffs because it gets more physical and it's harder to score in the half court. The guys who have increased efficiency are the legends that we all talk about. That's why Jalen Brunson gets talked about like one of the best playoff scorers over the last 3 years. That's why Luka gets talked. Most guys see their efficiency drop off a little bit. Now, you'd like to see Cade be a little bit more efficient than he's been, sure. But when you take into account the context that he has, he's the only creator for the Pistons within the half court. He is their only scorer in the half court. He's literally all they got offensively, to be honest, when it comes to putting the ball in the basket. Maybe a little bit Tobias, but as far as self-creation, it's all Cade. And not only do the Pistons know this, the Knicks know this. They have made it incredibly hard for Cade to do anything easy. And like I said earlier, they're basically saying, we don't believe that THA, Tobias, Malik, any of these other guys are going to make enough shots to where we feel like we made a mistake. And they haven't shifted from that strategy. I feel like Cade has, from game 1 to game 2 to game 3 to game 4, is starting to get better at diagnosing and how he wants to attack it. I think game 1 he really struggled at how he wanted to attack it early on. But I think as the series has gone on, he's starting to get better and better at it. Obviously, the last shot was tough. The last shot, I think, I'm sure Cade's probably going to be up at night for all of the offseason. Really, I think the last 2 middies he had. The fadeaway he had on OG that rimmed out, that was a tough shot, but it toilet bowled out. He feels like he probably should have made that. And then especially the last one, that's a shot he hits like 70, like that's his go-to shot, and he missed it. So I'm sure he's going to be up late at night all offseason wanting those shots back. But he's doing things like the box score numbers are things we haven't seen since Oscar Robertson. Like this is his first playoff series ever. He's having triple doubles. He's had a double in each game he's played. He had 4 blocks, I believe, in a half last game, 3 in 1 quarter. Yeah. Like he's been able to impact the game on defense and on offense. And given the context of what he's dealing with when it comes to the personnel he has, I don't know how anyone can come away saying, man, next year or 2 years from now, when they have someone else that can score, when they have other threats offensively, we can trust that Cade's going to deliver because he was able to do this and have the Pistons. What's the total margin? Like 8 points or something? Yeah. Do all these games he's had them this close against a talented Knicks team without any secondary creation. So I don't know how you don't walk away feeling positive about Cade.
What happened in that third quarter and why isn't it happening in the first? Like how did he get going? He exploded in that third quarter. He went nuts. Like what's going on there that's not happening at the beginning of these games?
I think when I watch it, I'm sure I'd love to hear what Cade's thoughts are, but just from me watching it, I feel like early on, Cade kind of feels out the game, and he's trying to figure out, okay, what's going on? Let me see what they're doing. I'm going to feed my teammates. Are they doubling? Are they trapping? Are they sending hard hedges? Are they showing? Are they getting, like, I feel like in the first quarter, he's kind of feeling stuff out, and then coming out at halftime, he feels pretty confident about what he's seeing, and now he's just attacking it. I think that's what I see most of the time throughout these games. Game 2, I feel like that's why Game 2 he exploded, because he really saw the same stuff he was seeing in Game 1, and he came out really confident in Game 2 as a scorer. It was just like, okay, I know what I'm going to get. I know what I want to do, and was just aggressive from the get-go. I think a lot of it is him trying to balance being a playmaker and getting his teammates involved while also knowing that he has to be a scorer himself. And then also, to be honest, some of it is also just he's hitting, like, he's not getting the cleanest looks, and sometimes he's just missing looks he wants to have back. Like he's missed a few layups that he probably would like back. He's not getting as many threes up, which I think is hurting him a little bit because they're trapping. He's not able to walk in to pull up threes. They're trapping and hedging, so he's not able to get those 3-point looks off. I think it's more, if I had to put money on what I think the most of it is that he's just feeling out the defense in the first half, and he kind of feels more comfortable as the game gets on. I also think he's just missing some shots that he would want back, and they're making it really hard on him to get those easy shots. So I think it's just a mix of both those things.
Yeah, our guy Stick was giving us shit last week, and I don't even know if he meant it, if he's just trolling us. But yeah, Cade's here, man. He's a star. I'm not accepting any other answer than that, to be honest with you. Chris, you got one real quick?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is this, and is it crazy for the Pistons fans that are out there saying that, hey, we are down 3-1, but we got 2 bad calls at home. We've been in every game. Why can't we do the 3-1 comeback? Can we still have a puncher's chance in this series? Because every game has been close. We've even had multiple games with late leads and blown it. So is that a realistic approach or expectation to have? Obviously, you take it one game at a time, but is it realistic to expect that the Pistons, despite being down 3-1, still have some chance in this series, some fighter's chance?
Yeah, I think you obviously have some kind of chance. You have a puncher's chance, sure. To be honest, I think it would be really, really hard for them to try to pull off. I think what's really happened, and I talked about this on the podcast today, if you really want to boil it down to the most simplistic terms, there's a bunch of stuff we can talk about, context, numbers, we can break down the film. But if you want to get to the simplistic answer of this, the Knicks have 2 all NBA players that have looked like all NBA players in the fourth quarter. Like that's just like they have 2 guys who have came out and hit insane shots to close them out in the fourth quarter. And one of those guys has been a killer doing that for the last 2 years, so he's probably going to keep doing it. So, I mean, that's what's going to be hard about it. As long as these games are close in the fourth quarter, it's going to be hard for the Pistons to pull them out. They have a chance. Their defense gives them a chance. They've done a great job defensively in this series. They have a chance. The games have been close, and if they can just pull it out late in games, hit some clutch buckets, maybe they can. But losing home court, just being at the talent disadvantage and seeing that the Pistons don't see – I think this series really took a turn, to be honest, when the Knicks realized the Pistons just don't really have an answer for Cat and went away from Brunson a little bit and went more through Cat. Ever since then, Cat's just dominated, and it's been hard for the Pistons to really stop them. So can they do it? Sure. They have the defense to do it. They've been in every game. It's just the Knicks really do just have more talent. I think that's kind of what's happening in the fourth quarter is that they're kind of just out-talenting the Pistons.
Yeah, and that's honestly where I miss Stu, because in Game 3 when Cat started shoving guys and acting all tough guy, like fake, like, bro, that's not you. But we also have anyone on the court to oppose that. And now he's found his groove because of that. He's like, wait, my bully is no longer here. Isaiah Stewart's on the bench, and now you're seeing him reaping the benefits.
Yeah, so
Stu's out tonight. He's out tonight, and it's like – if they had Stu in this series, I do think it's at least 2-2. I would feel comfortable saying 3-1, but at the very least it's 2-2. Not having Stu, because like we mentioned earlier with JD, like this may just not be a good matchup for JD on the defensive end. No. In most situations, you would then be able to say, okay, it's a Stu series. It's a Stu matchup. We're going to play Stu. They don't have that. They don't even have that option right now. So it's just – and Stu is one of the best defenders in the league at guarding guys like Cat and switching out on the perimeter and – helping them start these runs to get out in transitions. Just losing him has been incredibly impactful, and it's really killing them.
All in all, Detroit Pistons slipping it from 14 to the 6th seed. Still got to say it's a successful season, right?
No, for sure. This is at the end of the series, whenever it ends, well, everyone's going to be disappointed for sure because it felt like I've seen some Pistons fans say this, that if you just came in here and got blown out, it would be like, okay, we were a year early anyways, is what it is. The fact that it's been so close and you feel like you really could be up in this series, you really feel like you could win the series is what's going to hurt the most. I get that. But at the end of it, when it all ends and the dust settles, this team went from 14 wins to a 6th seed. They didn't go from 14 to the play-in. They completely skipped the play-in and went straight to the playoffs. They ended their playoff win drought in 17 years. Yeah. They ended that. They got clear answers on who their franchise player is. All of their young guys got better this year. The culture's going the right way. Overall, there's nothing that can take away from what this season is. Now, it'll be interesting, the conversations that come up in the offseason, because now you got to go from good to very good, and that's usually the hardest step to take. But there's nothing that could happen. They could get. I'm not going to lie to you. They could get blown up by 40 tonight, and that's not going to damper the season to me. This season, based on what they did last year.
Why you say that?
I mean, for real though, they could get blown out, and that's not going to change anything. Like this season they've had is way. I mean, they're over under by FanDuel before the year was 24.5. Like they crushed that in January, February. Like
Spinny made like $700 on that.
Mm-hmm.
You did? You put money on it?
Oh yeah, I put $100 on 35 plus wins.
How much you get on it?
$750.
See, there you go. There you go. I was too scared to do it. They got my money the last 3 years. So I was too
scared. I was the same way, man. Yeah, all we gotta do now is cash in Jaden Ivey for
All right, real quick. Before we let you go, man. Before we get out of here, you got to live or die by Cade Cunningham, right? It is series on the line. Elimination game. If you're losing with Cade shooting the ball 30 times, right?
That's what I would do. Yeah. If you lose this game, Cade needs to go down swinging. At least that's how I'd look at it. If he comes out and has 20 assists, and all of a sudden Malik's hitting threes, THA's hitting threes, we'll look stupid. But before the game, I would figure that Cade's going to go down. He's not going to go down without swinging, and that's how you'd like to go out.
Cool, man. What are you doing for the game? Let the people know. I know you do the watch parties and whatnot, and plug your show. Let us know what you got going on.
Yeah, you guys can follow me over on Locked On Pistons, obviously, wherever you get your podcast platforms. Also over on YouTube at Locked On Pistons. You guys can subscribe to my Substack, Piston Kudos. Also, you can find it at kukuhill.substack.com. I have film breakdowns coming out after every single game. I've had 2 breakdowns in the last 24 hours. We're going to have a bunch of articles and analyzing the Pistons season and the offseason. So check that out if you haven't. And also, if you want to watch the game with me, the rest of the Pistons fans tonight, I do host a live watch party over on Playback Pistons Watch. Or Watch Pistons, I'm sorry. Go over there, check it out, join the room. It's a lot of fun. But appreciate you guys, and hopefully I'm coming back on next week because the Pistons have extended this series. So.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Final question. 100 men or a gorilla?
Bro, okay, so look. Look, we've been arguing about this for so long, dude. Look, I'm taking the 100 men. This is why. Look, this is why. This is why. Is the gorilla when you drop him in there? Is he really aware of what's going on? Like, he sees 100 people. He's just, like, instantly in, oh, I got to kill these people attitude. Like, he's probably just looking around like, what the hell's happening? Like, why are these people here? It probably takes him till man 20 to realize, oh, okay, they're trying to kill me. Like,
So he's just killing them for fun.
He's like, what are they doing to me?
But also, all 100 have to be bought in, bro. You can't have someone in there
Yes,
cheating. You
true,
can't have someone in there acting like, I'm too scared. All 100 of the men have to be committed to killing this gorilla. And I think you can pull it off.
See, my thought process is you got to start it with a wave of 10 to 15 crackheads. Just send them after him. Let them confuse him, disorient him. You know, they could take a beating. So I think that would be the smartest move. And then you put, like, Aaron Donald, Trent Williams, and Penei Sewell out there. Let them go after that guy.
Yeah, if I can pick, like, professional athletes that are all, like, 6'10", 280 pounds, I think I can. I think I have a chance. I'm not going to lie.
My strategy, I agree with the crackheads, but you got to send him after the nuts.
Yeah.
You got to go for his nuts or his eyes.
Grab his dick and twist it.
How many Isaiah and Ben Wallaces does it take?
Ooh.
Oh, like
20?
less than 100.
How
25?
How many Ben Wallaces does it take?
Oh, you're locked in. Ben ain't doing nothing else.
That's fair.
Cool, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good night, man.
You
too,
too,
man.
sir. Hopefully we're talking about Pistons win tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully.
All right, let me tell you guys about Mad Packs.
Yes,
Spemo
sir.
Rax here to talk about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they're partnering with Woodward Sports. You know what that means. I'm going to be feeling good all summer long. Mad Packs is going to take your game to the next level. High-low, getting you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom Shakalaka is a live resin-infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Packs THCA Moon Rocks that hit like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers in May 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports Network for the latest updates.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
How do you think you won? This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Come get an award-winning haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. You can get a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff included as well in the King's treatment. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. It's wicked awesome.
What up, though? I'm Mike. World Heavyweights Live on sports.com. I'm joined by Spimo Rax, Chris, Nicholas Koloff, Jerry, a.k.a. Seinfeld, a.k.a. Shampoo, a.k.a. whatever the chat comes up with today. Jerry, where you at the Pistons, man? I heard from you all day.
We got it. We'll be all right. I think.
You crashing out in there?
Now that it's winter, go home. I think everybody's gonna play like it's winter, go home. I think everyone's gonna buy in, which is obviously too late to buy in. But I think everybody is. This game is gonna be interesting. I think we'll pull it off. I think we can pull this series off. We shouldn't have lost last game. And I hate to be the person to, just this series in general, I'm never one to blame the refs. I hate doing that. That's not what I do.
Don't do it.
A lot of it is our fault, but it's tough with what we've been dealing with in this series with the officials and what they come out and say after the game when it doesn't matter. Like
That's
it
fair.
should matter. It should matter in the moment. It should matter when you're reffing the game. And another thing that actually pissed me off last game is JB Bickerstaff using our challenge in the first quarter of a playoff game.
Yeah.
I think that is a very non-intelligent move as a head coach to do that in the first quarter, because then you use that in that fourth and we get our free throws and we win that game.
Yeah.
I think you use that.
Well, you couldn't challenge that.
You can only challenge a call, and they didn't call nothing. So but there's still scenarios you probably could have used.
Could have used it for
Other than
sure.
the I'm not
again,
using that in the first quarter of the playoff game.
You saw how
No
adamant
way.
Cade Cunningham was. Your superstar is telling you challenge that right now. I didn't do it. You kind of got to.
I don't know, JB. You gotta put the foot down. Like he's in the moment.
He's got to
trust. I'm saying you gotta remind him that you're the level-headed person in this situation. Like you're the one who has to make the calculated decision there. I love Cade Cunningham, but I feel like and Cade's responsible enough. I feel like to understand that.
Yeah.
Like he's not a crash out. Shout out to Cade for saving Ron Holland for receiving a tag.
Ron Holland was ready to drop kick.
And thank God they got the relationship they have too, because like they played together since high school. Since they're like jits.
Yeah.
So and like I don't know if that push would have went as smoothly if not, but it's shout out to Cade for being like the bigger man, because that's all season that's been going.
It did,
and it plays out. But Cade's like in the playoff game. Fuck no.
It did look like Ron Holland was like for a split second, like what the like
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
he
he
got
did look
pushed,
at him all
like
crazy.
he was trying to. Yeah, he
Yeah.
looked like he was ready to snap, and then he saw it was Cade. He saw it was Sensei, and he just was like, "All right,
Yeah, I
let me
just
chill
think
out. Let me chill out. Let me not do nothing."
It's tough with. I think it's going to be a tough game with Cat finally realizing that he can do what he wants now. I think he's.
I do what I want.
He's in a really bad groove, like for us wise. Like
Yeah.
he's in a really bad groove to the point where he's feeling good. Like
It's
after that
scary.
3-ball he hit and that tough fadeaway, it's like, if he's having that confidence going into this game, it's going to be a tough night for us. But we got to be able to contain.
We got to put Bobby Klintman in there and just have him fucking punch.
I'm so serious.
Punch
though.
Carl Anthony
Somebody's
Towns in the
gotta
gut.
take
You
one for the team
can't,
and
because the thing that's pissing me off with it, and I do respect Cat. Cat's good. Like obviously,
He's a very good basketball player.
very good basketball
Total
player.
pussy.
But exactly when he starts acting tough, that's what pisses me off. You can't let him be the bully. Let him do what he's doing, because obviously he's gonna play well. But like, you can't let him be pushing you around. No, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that. But we don't really got no one inside for Paul that can really even fuck with him like that.
Put somebody in there. Bounty Gate 2.0.
Like Asar's not that type of person.
I'm here for it.
Ron's too little.
Put the kid on him.
Put the kid on. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I can't really blame the refs, because when he hit that shot behind the backboard, you got to give credit to him.
Put Bobby Klintman in
And
and tell him
with the-
elbows high, brother. Elbows high.
Yeah,
And Duran contested that shot perfectly.
Yeah.
When you
Right?
look at
Yeah.
his hand, it's there.
It's
It's
just-
the best defense you could have played, and it's just.
And he pushed off in that 3-pointer.
It's elite level shot making
Yeah.
from an elite scorer in the NBA. There's nothing you can do to stop
Yeah.
that.
And then
It is.
Jalen
And
Brunson,
Brunson
man.
just turned up after he came
Bro,
back.
you're supposed to
It
be
was
hurt.
terrible.
Are you faking this
For
shit?
real.
He was faking the fuck out of
Like,
it.
what the fuck? He had a
does it-
poop?
He does it every time.
Oh,
He's done it
oh,
all
Oh,
year.
he's
Paul
taking
Pierce
drugs in the
for
locker room,
sure.
allegedly. He's
He's
taking
done it
something.
like 3 times already this
Yeah.
series.
This is like for sure the second or third time.
This is what happens
But that
when you
one
have
looks
Tibbs
serious.
as your coach.
Bro, you know what's gross?
You go in the locker room in the fourth.
I said in the group chat, fuck, I'll say here. I was like, yes. I don't care. I was like,
The guy I was next to
let's
at the
fucking go.
thing, he showed me the little Bleacher Report thing. He said Jalen Brunson out. I was like, hope
Yeah,
he's
bro.
okay, but don't
Yeah.
come back to the game.
We don't root
Like-
for injuries,
like,
but we're gonna.
no break, no tear, but just don't come back.
I was
Get
with
him
my
out.
homeboy, and he was jumping around, ran outside. Hell yeah, he got hurt. Yeah, I'm like, you better chill out.
Yeah.
because you watch. And then he came back and just went on a run.
Yeah.
And I was
Going
like,
crazy.
He went nuts.
The thing that just hurts, like, obviously, there's so many reasons why the Pistons should have won that game, and it's all on the court. But the biggest one is clearly the foul at the end. Like that, it's a legitimate 95% of the time when a team goes up 3-1, they win the series.
yeah.
That's just the
99
bottom line.
point. Fucking, I think LeBron, them are the only ones that ever do it.
No,
No,
there's been
no,
like
It's
4.
like
The
13
Pistons
teams
did.
in history.
The Pistons did. I think
Pistons
the
Pistons came back from
the
3.
Yeah,
Thunder
against,
didn't the Thunder
against
do
the
it
Tracy
against
McGrady
No,
Magic.
2020 was the last
Tracy
one they did
McGrady
so.
Magic.
Or yeah,
State
Golden
did it
State
versus
did it
the
against
Thunder.
Yeah, the Thunder
And then they went
before
and lost
the
3-1.
yeah.
Oh my God, Klay Thompson went fucking stupid.
Yeah,
that
Game
was
6
insane.
Klay.
We need Game 5 Malik.
Yeah, I like. Fellas, I don't think it's too crazy to say if we win in the Garden tonight, like, we have a good shot of winning this series because I don't think we lose 3 straight at LCA. Like, if this team, if they win tonight, I'm booking that it goes to 7. I don't think they lose at LCA because there's not a fucking chance
100%
that they lose Game 6.
We gotta live or die with Cade, like you said.
Yeah.
Like he has to go in. He can't start off slow like he always does. He can't turn up in the third quarter. We need you all 4 quarters this game. 100%.
We need game 2, Cade.
Yes, we need game 2. Like, we need him to come out and play like he's played in the regular season versus them at the Garden, when he's averaging 35 a game versus them at the Garden in the regular season. That's the Cade we need in this game because that's the Cade that we're going to live or die on.
Yeah, I saw that. I was saying I saw the same thing that Koo was talking about, where Cade kind of feels it out in the first half and then goes for the second half. But like what Koo also said, that I would just hammer home to Cade Cunningham, is that he saw that no matter what happens, they are approaching Cade the same. They are treating Malik Beasley the same way they are treating Asar. They don't care. They are stopping Cade and Cade only. So if I'm Cade Cunningham, at this point in the series, this deep in the series, you're 5 games deep now, you know exactly what they're going to do to you. Just go and attack first and then see if they adjust, because so far they haven't adjusted when Tobias went off. They haven't adjusted when Schroeder went off. They haven't adjusted when Malik went off. They are just comfortable riding out everybody else beating us besides Cade Cunningham. So I think Cade Cunningham has to do something different this game, and that is go on the attack from jump and then see if maybe you can get them to kind of create easier shots for your role players, for your Maliks, for your Tobiases, Dennis Schroeders, and so forth. Like, I think that's the game plan that you have to have. You know at this point the coverages they're going to give you for the most part. There's not going to be pretty much any wrinkles on New York's side.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I mean, at this point it's game 5. You felt it out enough, and they played him, like you just said, they played him the same exact way. And we see him in he's going to have to do a lot of isolation this game. I think you watch him last game late, he was able to isolate and get to the rim, and that's what's going to draw out to our Malik Beasleys and our Duran lobs. Like we said, we might have to revert away from the pick and roll for a little bit and force them to help instead of running that pick and roll, so then we can get our lobs, because obviously the pick and roll is just driving Cade out.
That's true. That's kind of been
going in. Yeah, we haven't really been
Jalen Duran, man.
Haven't been doing a lot with it, but he has to be able to isolate and hit shots that an all-star needs to hit.
It's fair. We got to go to break. We'll come back. We got some Stevie audio we might get into. We can talk some more Lions. We'll figure it out.
Let us know, chat.
Catch a vibe. Let me tell you about Caesar Sportsbook. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use promo code Woodward1000. Get your first bet up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. If it doesn't hit, scan that QR code on the screen right there and use promo code Woodward1000. Woodward Sports and Caesar Sportsbook, a match made in heaven.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Catch it, sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Make sure you tap in. He's going to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit him at michigansportsandspine.com or call him at 248-426-9944.
Hi. Weird
Hello.
aside. Pistons I'm sorry. We could keep doing Pistons. Stevie, Wings, Lions. The Lions one's more NFC North. Looking at the drafts around the division.
Save it.
Save for tomorrow. Let's do the most entertaining press conference Steve Yzerman's ever had in maybe his life.
Shout out Luke.
There's so many
very
quotable moments from that. Yes, so you started the show out with like, I'm sorry, I was daydreaming there for a minute.
Stevie's blood.
In the press conference where they're asking him about his goddamn job.
Yep.
But I saw Ryan Hanna.
Imagine that job.
That is crazy, dude.
Imagine that job.
He's just letting you know, like, yeah, shit happened to me,
Yeah,
bitch.
him and Brad, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
They're gaslighting.
What if they won?
That's like you're arguing with your girl. You ever hit that? And she's like, you're like, what'd you say again? Like, that's what he hit you with. They're fucking big pimping. What Stevie quote do you want to go to first? There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
You can play them at random, Chris, and we'll just react to them. How about that?
Okay, well, you guys actually ended up each sending the same thing twice, so we got 2
Do
quotes.
we have the one of
Go ahead.
no and no? Like no, I'm
of
not
Jake
hitting
Wallman?
it. No and no. Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Wallman.
I respect him. He's probably pissed off about that. Did you send that one?
It's bad trade. No, I didn't.
So essentially, they asked him about the Jake Wallman trade. Would he like to expound on what he returned for it, and how does he feel about him going for the first?
What happened here with Wallman, where you traded him with a pick and then he went for a first? I believe was how that question was paraphrased.
And he said no, he doesn't want to talk about it. And they asked him why, and he said because I don't want to.
Big dick Stevie, dude.
I mean, you gotta respect it, right?
Usually he's like boring and monotone too. He was like
He said no.
He was in sport mode. He was in
No.
competitive mode almost there.
How about no?
How about no?
That's a bad trade. I think he knows his bad trade.
Yeah. So we know it. Why we gotta talk about it?
Yeah. We fucked up, bud. What do you want me to say?
They asked him if he's nervous for his job. He's
Nope.
like,
He said, "How about no?"
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere.
I got a job to do. There was the one, I don't know if we sent it, the free agency. I don't think I sent that one. We can talk about it after the clip.
Here, you want me to just play one?
No,
Yeah,
you're
play
wrong
one.
again. No.
Wrong again!
All right.
How about no?
Here's the first one.
Steve, it sounded a lot like you were addressing comments made by Dylan regarding the trade deadline, and he said, guys, we're down. Is that partly what prompted your explanation just now? Or?
Not really, no. I mean, it's been talked about since the trade deadline. Obviously, I've addressed Dylan's comments directly with Dylan, and I will not elaborate on that in this room. If Dylan wants to share what I had to say with him, he's more than welcome to.
And just
I told him to shut the fuck up, and if he's gonna pipe up about it again, come say it to my face.
I was in Detroit before it was gentrified. I can get you fucking killed. You say some shit like that again, bitch. That's what he said. You want to go fucking? What's the worst team right now? I don't even. You want to go play Nashville? No, Nashville's actually.
No, Nashville's not good. I mean, they're
You
not
playing Nashville? Yeah. I mean, I respect. Lark could definitely have that conversation with Steve.
Blackhawks.
Yeah, Blackhawks.
But
You send him to fucking Chicago White Sox if you wanted to.
Yeah, honestly.
That's how much pull he's got
You
around
want
this
baseball,
bitch.
bud?
Yeah.
That was yeah. I mean, this has been a wild day of Detroit GM press conferences.
It really is. Big dick GMs just
Swinging.
waving them around.
Yeah.
One of them hasn't.
Gaslighting everyone. Stevie wasn't even gaslighting anyone. He was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. No, I'm not going to talk about it.
I maybe got more respect for.
I think, like I said, you got to respect it. He said, "Can we talk about this?" He said, "No." They said, "Why?" He said, "Because I don't want to." All right, Stevie. Like, what else are you going to say?
If the Pistons get eliminated tonight, the Trajan Langdon exit interview, there are now sky high expectations.
Yeah, that's true.
He needs to come in that bitch talking.
He's have his fucking.
We won 14. You fucking bums won 14 games without me last year. You gonna complain about that now?
You want Monty back?
Come in
huh?
smoking a cigarette like.
Yeah.
We want to win 14 again?
Yeah.
Fucking pussy. No, but
I'll
the one
pay
I
Beasley
did like.
what I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. He was asked. Somebody asked him, "Are you going to spend some big money in free agency, like up to $11 million?" He said, "Yeah, that's good. That's good. $11 million is a lot.
Like that.
You like that? Who's out there? You boys know more than me.
Mitch Marner.
He's more than 11 though,
Mitch
right?
Marner or bust.
Mitch Marner is more than 11.
Yeah,
It'd be
for
like
sure.
14.
More than 11.
14, yeah.
11's close to 14.
Both of these GMs are just fucking going off today. But the thing with Stevie and all this press conference, this was the first time where I've seen him kind of talk about Larkin in that sense. Like, we had the talk. Like, if he does come out and say something, that is on him, and I am assuming Larkin would not, because I'm assuming in that talk, Stevie instructed him not to go to the media with anything that me and you are talking about right here.
Yeah.
But this team hasn't made the playoffs under Steve Yzerman, and he's over here big dicking like this. Like, come on, Stevie. Like, what are we doing here?
I mean,
like,
he's
you do
Steve
this
Yzerman.
after even Brad. We haven't made the Super Bowl. He's over here just both of them. It's like that they obviously believe they can do no wrong at any time, and we are all idiots. Steve said in this press conference, I frankly don't care what you think or what you think you know or blah, 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 going off on one of the beat writers. And I was...
Damn, I didn't see that one.
Yes, dude. I frankly don't care what you think or what you know or what you ask me.
Oh, about his job, right? Is that when he said that? Or?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's... These guys have a lot of, I mean, nerve. I mean, not nerve, but...
Nerve!
not nerve. I'm looking for the word here. But...
A lot of nuts.
A lot of nuts to be coming off. One of them, you missed the playoffs for the 6th year in the row. And the other one, you got bounced in the first game of the playoffs, and you still haven't made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
that's all I'm going to say. Like, I have a lot of faith in Brad Holmes over Steve Yzerman right now, but, I mean, Steve, this was a crazy day just throughout.
Very crazy day.
Yeah, the contract stuff, I guess, was good news, like, for free agency. There's one more thing that I like that he said, too. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Obviously, it's good that him and Lard kind of work things out. They're on a mutual understanding, hopefully.
I feel like Stevie pushed him into a locker. He's like,
for sure.
Talking to the media, huh?
D-Mac fucking came around the corner.
Steel
Hey,
chair.
next time you see Larkin, he likes him a black eye.
Larks, I fell in the locker room. Yeah.
Patrick Kane, mutual interest between the two parties. So that's a plus. Because that's one of the things I was crashing about, because he's your go-to offensive guy, at least in overtime. Whether it's shootout or OT, he was your fucking go-to. And I didn't know if he's going to stick around, because he obviously likes winning cups. Mm-hmm. But he looks like he might be staying around. There's one more thing, I can't remember what it was.
Dude. This slap shot to the face.
This is crazy. Is it crazy? Do you think they, like, Brad and Stevie, like, talk to each other?
Yeah. Prior to today?
Dude. They were like,
I don't know prior to today.
No, prior to today, and they were like, hey, let's fucking piss some people off.
Hey, what is Scott Harris, right? That's the Tigers GM?
Yeah.
What does he do? Because they're actually like looking like a contender right now.
Yeah.
You wanted me to spend $40 million on fucking who?
Yeah.
like
one of the best players in the AL.
This is crazy.
That's just, yeah, he is. Bregman is one of the best players in the American League right now.
Yeah.
He is.
Let's not act like he wouldn't have taken this team to a whole nother level.
We got Alex Cobb.
But we do have Alex Cobb. Speaking of Cobb, I think he's back throwing.
There we go.
As a medical update.
Flaherty replacement when he gets traded.
Vierling still not hitting AAA yet. I was sad to hear that he has not been assigned to his rehab yet, and I was expecting that this update, and we have not gotten that, but stay tuned.
What?
We do have one more. Do you want me to play the other Stevie Y clip?
Yeah, run it.
All right, let me run this.
There was a lot in that presser.
Yeah, this one.
We had hoped, as I said, to try and improve our team. There were no good options, and I can't break the confidence of the other general managers around the league and things that we talked about, but there was no deals to bring in anyone of any significance that we really felt would make a difference, not just to make the playoffs this year, but to make us a better team in the long run and to get us ultimately.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I think when you look at the return that you were asking for these borderline players that the Red Wings were targeting at the deadline, like would trading Marco Kasper for Dylan Cousins put you in the playoffs? No. And it wouldn't. It would probably make you an objectively worse team. So I'm not mad. You weren't going to get Rantanen. He was the only really giant piece that was moved at the deadline. He was the only piece that would even make you sniff a playoff run. I'm not mad at that. I think that is true.
And he did flex his dick a little bit again when they said I did trade a first round pick when we got Cat. And he's a very good hockey player.
And this team would be a lot worse if you didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start gearing up for another one of those, Stevie. Let's start eyeing some players.
You're right. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah,
For sure.
this team would be a lot worse if you did not have Alex DeBrincat on it.
For sure.
He's the best player on the team last year.
And low key, like I said it when we were arguing too. Like he wanted to come here. Like this is where he was coming.
Yes.
You know, so it's not like a
Carnivine.
All on him move. Cat met you halfway on that one.
Meet me halfway.
Super Bowl says, God forbid we hold these guys, GMs, accountable. I think that's just the bottom line of today that I'm trying to say is like every move that these guys make, you do not have to agree with. Obviously, they know more than 99% of the people, 99.9% of the people in the world, or else they wouldn't have their job. But let's this is our job to criticize their moves.
I put this year on Steve Yzerman 100%. It's his fault the Red Wings didn't make the playoffs.
100%.
It also doesn't help that Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond fell apart down the stretch. But
terrible.
The goaltending, the defensive play, and the veterans being ass is Steve Yzerman's fault because he brought those guys in there.
And my question,
and not firing Lalonde.
My question to you, Spenny, with everything that you've heard today, do you think there ever could possibly be a trade for Larkin on the table? Because he said everything's on the table.
Absolutely, I think it is on the table. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I could very much see Dylan Larkin being traded.
See how savage he is, dude. He don't give a fuck.
I don't think they're married to him at all. I don't. He wasn't one of their guys. He wasn't one of Stevie's picks, so he doesn't have any kind of sentimental value for him. Obviously, you'd like to keep him. He's the captain. He's a damn good player. Every single team in the NHL would want Dylan Larkin on their roster. But we'll see what happens.
The crying line was
He's proven, Dylan Larkin has proven that if you put good players around him, he will be a top 6 forward. You don't need a top 6 forward right now. You need a top 1 forward. You need an elite player. I don't think Dylan Larkin will ever be an elite player in the NHL. And so to get a guy like that, you might have to crack some eggs. And he very well could be a piece. I don't expect it to happen, but it's not off the table at all.
Burn in the Woodward Sports chat. Meanwhile, Scott Harris is like, we did our best. We tried. It fell through. Sorry, we wanted him. We're trying hard. Hopefully we can do it. I mean, after this season,
it's working.
Obviously, long season to go. If it continues this way, he might be able to do the same thing.
If you miss the playoffs 6 years in a row and you talk like that, Scott Harris, bro,
that is crazy.
You could talk.
That is actually nuts.
Yeah.
You want to answer this? No.
I'm
good.
Why not? Because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Fuck, Stevie. All right, you got to give me something, big dog.
Seems like you want to suck my dick?
Yeah.
No. All right.
Yeah. So what are we doing here?
His pants are down.
Yeah. Why the fuck did I show up?
It ain't gonna suck itself.
Dude, him saying that he spaced out, that was like
in the middle of a presser. They're asking about
that's
his job.
crazy, bro.
That's what I wanted to say. Ryan
I
Hanna
love
did
it.
give context though.
It's funny
because I guess
he asked the same exact question to Todd McClellan right before it.
McClellan had a really wordy answer. I guess that was like long. It was more him giving shit to McClellan.
It was obviously a joke. I don't think Steve Yzerman was just fucking spacing out in the middle of an interview. I want that. It was obviously a joke
out right now.
But that was funny.
I mean, we've heard that he gets down.
Oh, he definitely gets down. He rips bombs, bro. Oh, let's go to break.
All right,
let's go to break. We'll come back.
All right.
We'll do some mail sack. Tell us about merch.
Let me tell you about merch. If you do not have Detroit swag, if you need to upgrade your Detroit swag, head on over to woodwardsports.com, click that shop tab today, and get yourself some brand new merch. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all that, all teams, all season. Make sure you are tapping in for the best Detroit sports merch in the game with Woodward Sports.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
All right, make sure you got... Dude, this fucking guy.
I thought you... All right. I was going to do the read and then go to you.
Well, make sure you guys stay tuned because we got the watch party for Pistons Game 5 coming up next on Woodward Sports. So stay tapped into that. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button for Eazy, Gary, Nick, Chris, Benny, the heavyweights. Up next, stay tuned.
Pistons in 7.
Game 5. We'll see if they can pull it out. Peace.
Pistons in 7.